Hello, everyone, and welcome to another scene for Darkness in Dublin, the Werewolf venue. In this scene, we have Connor, who is wanting to talk to a couple of people at Sept to kind of like ask about some stuff. So we will start with Connor. What is he doing?
No, 1 second. Sorry, my computer just started fritzing.
You're fine. Completely fine.
So Connor is going to be attempting to track down the semi-official or official Sept healer because through fighting through this lack of memory, he seems to find himself having a semi-affinity for healing those that need help with injuries. For instance, healing the large damage that Joshua took in the last combat. So he wants to offer up his services to help and learn more.
Okay. So things that he already knows from just for a little while is that there are two gar that are kind of like accessible to him. One is a little bit closer to his rank, the Keeper of the Land. He's always pretty accessible to anyone who wants to learn anything or talk. And he knows that the Keeper of the Land is a Theurge, Fiona Theurge. And he knows that the Den Mother is a child of Gaia, and she's also very accessible because she is the Den Mother and she deals the cubs and Cleos, and he would already know, even though we haven't done a scene about it, he would already she kind of views Cleoth as still her responsibility, like, and her quote cubs, but she doesn't treat them like quite like cubs, but she just kind of like has that motherly air energy towards Cleothgar. She's very pleasant to be around. She has a very approachable energy. So either one he could go to.
I'll go with the Keeper of the Land most, not just because he knows with the fact that he was, well, in part responsible for just dropping a couple of new cubs right in her lap, in the Den Mother's lap. Her time is probably a little busy right at the moment.
Okay.
So he'll go, and he also wants to learn a few other things. So so talking to the Theurge would be a good idea.
Okay. He'll find the Umbra most likely, tending to shrines and things like that, because there are shrines to spirits, especially to the Sep's totem, raccoon. That shrine is interesting.
he will bring a shiny.
Okay, so just for because this is fun, he will find him at Raccoon Shrine.
Okay. Connor will head towards the shrine carrying I don't know, some kind of shiny like fork or something, or small. Oh no! You know those little coring spoons?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to find a really shiny one of those.
Okay, that's amazing.
Because it's nice and small and it fits perfectly in the paw of a raccoon.
That is very true. So, Raccoon Shrine looks like a hollowed out tree stump, and there are a menagerie of shiny things in this tree stump. And It doesn't look like much, but it makes Raccoon very happy. Because it's a den / horde of shiny things. So, um, so yeah, he will just you'll find him there. He's probably quietly meditating at the shrine, communing with Raccoon a little bit.
Connor will sit down cross-legged and wait to be acknowledged. He won't disturb. And he's got a lot of willpower, so he's pretty patient in the way he waits.
Mm-hmm. So he will so he'll notice that Nathan has very prominent stag spirit heritage. He appears to have like antlers coming out of his head, and that kind of stuff. It's not like full blown, like not the highest, but it's pretty high. And what else will he notice him right off the bat? He is very magnetic, so he does feel very approachable, even as he's meditating and not paying attention. A nice sound. And he's very Fiona, all the Fiona pure breed.
No,
so
I can't sense that pure breed vibe off him at all.
No, not at all. So he notices he like can feel the energy shift and notice and feel that someone has come into this space. So he will just quickly fish up and he will open much the same smile that is on his overlay. And he'll go, oh, hello there.
Now Connor would have only just barely, like, he would have been careful about this. He would have entered the space, but not like it would have been like a half step in, so he's not overwhelming, and obviously that he's respecting the privacy and the peace and giving him time
he doesn't seem too bothered by it. He's like, he's nice and friendly. And he kind of like squints just a little bit, like, I don't know if I've met you before.
Actually, have they? Probably just in passing, right?
They probably have seen him around, but they probably haven't been formally introduced yet.
I think we've passed by each other, seen each other, but not really met. I'm Connor Grant, also known as Rage Buried Deep, third of the Child of Gaia, and Cleas, the nation.
He nods. And he says, I am Nathan O'Brien, known as Stag's Pride. I'm a Theurge of the Fiona, and I am Adrian, and Keeper of the Land. Nice to meet you, fellow Theurge. And he'll extend his hand.
He'll step forward and shake his hand, and after they stop shaking hands, he will bend over and place the spoon at the monument.
He grins. Oh, he'll like that one. That one's really shiny. He nods. So
hopefully it'll make up for the. I don't think I've dropped one off in a little bit, so hopefully that makes up for it.
He nods and just kind of like gives his head a little shake, like whatever. But because apparently, because he can tell by the shrine that Raccoon is not hurting for shiny things, but everyone and Nathan finds it very humorous that literally everyone that passes by the shrine is compelled to bring something shiny. So he finds that a little bit amusing. but great. Like he's not bothered by it at all. It's just it's kind of something that's amusing for him. But so yeah, he looks at Connor and he's like, so what can I do for you?
So I have I've had a long-standing issue with I guess really the best way to show it to describe it is to show it, and he'll lower his head and he'll kind of brush his hair aside and show the battle scar to the back of his head.
Yeah, so he kind of winces, inhaling sharply. You're like, oh, that looks nasty. What happened there?
I don't know. That's the problem. I have memory issues, severe memory issues.
So you don't remember much, like from your life?
I remember, yeah, very little.
He just like nods. That could be a problem. So what can I do to help?
Well, I'm really trying to find my niche in things, and I've recently found that I seem to be good at healing.
So you're the healing type. See, we Theurges tend to come and find our place in the two major categories are like healing and have an affinity for dealing with the spirits, which is my expertise is more on the spiritual side, which is why I have this position because I really enjoy taking care of the spirits in the shrines. Not much for I can heal, but it's not something that I want to do like as a job, I guess you could say. It's just not my cup of tea. He's just like trying to figure out a word. His words are kind of failing him a little bit, which is a little bit unusual for a Fianna, but you probably see why he deals with spirits most of the time.
He knows. I completely understand it. I mean, I'm kind of.
But then there are others that are a good mix of both, which I recommend, honestly. And then there are those that prefer to be like out there in battle, which a lot of us Fianna, because we're warrior tribe, tend to veer that way too. I'll get my hands dirty when it's called for, but I definitely do prefer just to stay here with the spirits and help guard the sept. He nods.
Well, I'm not a big fighter myself, but when it comes down, and he'll give them the breakdown, like the point form of what happened on the first couple of days.
So yeah, he listens and he nods. So you like to be up there making sure that the warriors can keep going.
He nods.
That's fair.
But I also find myself lacking in. I know. I just recently learned my second right. I feel like I'm really lacking in that area too. So.
You probably have some in there that you've forgotten.
I suppose it's possible.
But I can definitely teach you those. I'm pretty adept at rites myself. What kind of rites do you want to learn?
I don't really know. I don't really remember all that much. Stuff that can be helpful. Like I can cleanse things, and I can do I can tell the spirits about the deeds of others, the rate of accomplishment. Yeah,
Oh, he nods. Okay, so you at least have that level of knowledge. He just like thinks a little bit.
and I mean,
Well, even though you are more on the healing side of things, you still need to really um, learn more about spirits. I would recommend that you learn how to call them to you, the rite of summoning, which I can definitely teach you if you would like that.
absolutely, that sounds like a good one.
And then possibly after that, um, I could teach you how to awaken sleeping spirits that are within things. It's called Rite of Spirit Awakening. That's useful. Definitely useful.
He nods, and he looks very thankful.
So I don't mind teaching you. And then once I've taught you everything I know, then you'd have to go to the Rite Master, which he can be a little off-putting sometimes. Don't take it too personally. He's kind of like that with everyone.
I found that in the past I've been a little bit of a pain because of my lack of memories. So I mean, it's understandable.
Well, I don't mind dealing with it, and I can help you any way that I know how. Though you might want to talk to our den mother, Alyssa. She, or Dazzles is what she prefers to go by. Her deed name's Dazzles the Young. Uh, she likes to help people discover their past. She's your tribe, Child of Gaia. Have you met her yet?
Yes, I dropped off a couple of new cubs to her.
Oh, you were right. You were part of that too. Interesting lot. He nods. So, yeah, and she is a bit of the I don't know if we have like an official healer, but she's definitely one that helps tend to a lot of the wounded and the sick when it's needed. She was a nurse before she decided to dedicate all of her time to the sept by becoming a den mother. So she has real world training as well as Garu knowledge.
Yeah, I was going to stop by and talk to her, but I figured the new pups probably had her pretty busy at the moment.
He shrugs. She somehow is always in a good mood and welcomes anyone who wants to visit. I don't know where she gets all of her energy from, but I digress. He's just like, whatever. You can tell that Nathan is a very laid back person. Like, he's just, and that, yes, he does have kind of a hermit demeanor about him, like that he does spend a lot of time in the Empress, maybe a little too much time.
Now, with your very generous offer of helping me, is there something I can do to help you?
Sure, I could actually use someone to help me with tending to these shrines. Like if you wouldn't mind, you know, I could teach you how to care for them, and then maybe if I need, someone to cover for me or something, then you'd be able to do it.
Absolutely,
Sort of like maybe an assistant to me.
absolutely.
He nods. Like that seems agreeable to him.
He'll bow his head.
Yeah, so you can meet me tomorrow at sunrise, and we can get started on. I can teach you that rate, and I can teach you the routine of all this stuff. I
Sounds
usually start at sunrise, and I take a break midday for a couple of hours, and then finish up, and usually finished by sundown. Sometimes I spend a little bit more time, but like all of the duties are finished from general duties are finished from sunrise to sundown. So, um, plus, a break for lunch or whatever. You can go run errands during the day, or even if you have a day job, you could go work for a few hours and then come back to it. It's not strenuous work that takes 10 hours a day. It's more like probably 3 or 4 hours of work, but I like to start early.
It's I don't really have a job because I really don't have what
Right. You don't have a
paperwork.
memory, so you can't have, you don't have an identity either.
Well, I kind of have I kind of have one.
But do you
Kind of.
need legal help?
Uh, I'm not in any kind of trouble right now, so
Right, but I mean, like if a legal, like to be a legal person, if you needed it, do you need help attaining that type of paperwork?
it might help in case something happens. Probably it might be helpful. Yeah.
Well, the let's see. He thinks for a moment. No. Dazzle's packmate is the master of challenges, and he is a glasswalker Philodox. And he is also, well, has been a lawyer, but still has a lot of connections to that world and could probably get you what you need.
That would be of great help.
His name is Writes the Rules. You could ask Dazzles more about that since he's in her pack.
He'll know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your meditations, and I will meet you back here at sunrise.
That sounds perfect.
All right.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow at sunrise.
I will see you then. And he'll turn and head towards where he dropped the cubs off.
Yes. Yeah, there's still at the location on Sept. They haven't been moved yet. So not too far away. The Sept itself isn't terribly huge. So it's like a 10-minute walk maybe. So, and I'm assuming that he steps back across.
Sorry?
I'm assuming that he goes back to the Tellurian.
Yeah.
Roll. This scene is pretty much, it's just role play. And the gauntlet's so low that at Sept that it does not matter. Because it is out in the wilderness pretty much. So yeah, he's actually gonna find her outside. Let me put her over. There you go. So yeah, he's gonna find her outside, tending the little garden that she has in the back.
Yeah. Okay. He'll come within 20, 25 feet of her, stop and wait for her to acknowledge him.
Yeah, she'll look up from what she's doing and she smiles. Connor.
Dazzles. How's it going today?
She'll like dust off her hands and stand up. And she's not very tall. She's only about 5'2" or 3. She's tiny in Hamid. And she smiles and she says, "It's a pretty good day. How about you?" She actually has a little bit of a Spanish accent that I can't do right now. Going from Irish to Spanish is weird, so I can't.
I'm finding myself dealing with some past issues.
Well, would you like to talk about it?
Sure.
Yeah, so she'll invite him to come over, and there's actually there's like a little patio out there with some patio furniture, and it's a very comfortable setup. It's like her home away from home type thing. She likes people to feel very comfortable and very at home.
He'll smile. He'll actually wait for her to sit down first because he's
she'll sit down.
Semi a gentleman.
She'll sit down and she'll motion to the chair across from her.
He'll take a seat.
Well, I'm here to listen. I'm all ears.
I don't know. I don't know if you've spoken with I kind of see him as my father, but with Stefano at all about me.
We've spoken a little bit, but we haven't gotten to have an in-depth conversation. But I do know about your situation with your memories.
Yeah, he'll bend down. He'll show the battle scar to be a little more clear on what the.
Oh, yeah, that's quite a nasty scar you have there. You, or probably, did you rage heal?
I don't know. I have no memories of that period.
She nods. It looks like probably the only way you survived that would be from a rage heal.
Or incredible level of luck.
That too. Yes. I've seen, yeah.
I would suspect rage heal is probably the more likely of the two, but because of I think I understand how these things work. But that's probably what it's from.
Sure.
But I'm missing a lot of what came before this happened, and I'm finding little specks of skills as I've been going forward. And I found that I might have an affinity for healing.
She smiles at that. Well, you are a child of Gaia. We all tend to have a little bit of an affinity for that. Sometimes our Theurge is a little bit more. So she doesn't look she doesn't look surprised, but she does look pleased that he has said that he has the question is, do you enjoy it?
I haven't done it enough to know if I do or not.
Okay, that's fair. Well, if you'd like to figure it out, I can probably give you some tasks as I get them and just kind of have you help me or let you do some stuff yourself. I could probably figure out what you could do on your own and what I would need. Um, you know Mother's Touch, right?
That's what I did on to heal Josh's wounds. Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. Well, that's good. And that's a very good start. Um, so so yeah, I guess it would just be practicing those. Um, have you learned how to make Gaia's breaths, talons?
No, my I don't know if I have or not. The rates that I know that I have are really quite limited to a cleansing and the one that's spirits acknowledge accomplishment. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to need to know Rite of Binding in order to make talons. But if you want to be a healer, um, and not use a lot of your gnosis and and things like that, Gaia's breaths are very useful for that, and they're portable. Like you can hand them off to different members of your pack or whoever, whether it's your permanent pack or temporary pack. Pack is people that you're working with. That's what I
Mhm.
generally refer to a pack as. Um, and with Gaia's breath, they'll be able to heal other people. They'd be able to heal you, or they could heal themselves. That's one way that you can heal yourself without knowing the right to, or without knowing the gift to heal yourself.
I'm
Um,
assuming that that's the next one up for Mother's Touch.
she nods. Yes, you can't know that until you're fostering.
Ah, okay.
Um, it is called Grandmother's Touch, and it is a fostering and above gift. Uh, so that's, and not everybody can know Mother's Touch and Grandmother's Touch. You have to know Mother's Touch before you can know Grandmother's Touch. Um, so that's what makes Gaia's breaths very useful. So I would recommend, as soon as you can, learning the rite of binding and finding somebody to teach you how to make them. I could, but it would probably be better if another Theurge taught you.
I'm already helping the keeper of the land, so
Oh, perfect.
yeah.
She nods. Then he can definitely teach you that stuff. He's extremely spiritual, so he should know how to do most of those things.
I'm also finding myself as it was just raised earlier with me. Another issue that may come up in the future.
What's that?
I'm a mystery.
She
I
furrows her brow just a little bit.
I have no paperwork per se.
Oh, you don't have. Okay. So you
Uh,
would be basically like how a Metis or a Lupus would be. No legal ties to the human world.
yeah,
Um,
my the Connor Grand name is literally a made up name out of.
right. Well, if you would like, it would probably, since you are Hamid, would probably make it a little easier for you to interact if you had a legal identity. I can. Um, So my pack mate is the master of challenges, but he also has legal ties to the human world, as he was a lawyer for many years. In his mortal life, he has been retired for a little while, but he still has connections, as he is a glasswalker. Um, so I can have you meet with him. Probably would need to make an appointment, so you wouldn't be able to meet with him today. But we can get the ball rolling for that. He'll probably want you to do something for him in exchange, but I doubt he'll make you pay for anything.
I have no problem with that.
She nods. So, and as far as me, I don't really require anything unless you want to help me with my garden from time to time.
I'd be honored to.
All right. Plus, it's a good way to, if you're ever stressed, gardening is actually a very good stress relief.
I'm also a practitioner of Hiskaku.
Oh. She nods. Well, that's very good.
He'll nod. In case you need any stress relief, that way I can. In case I don't really know you very well, so in case your anger gets a little higher and you need to vent a little more physically, I can help.
I need a way to burn it off.
Yeah, it's a really good solid way.
Well,
to
get that angry very often, but if I will take you up on that.
You'll bow his head.
I am from Shadow Lord heritage, so I tend to get angry sometimes. Have the embodiment of Grandfather Thunder only.
I've been lucky in that way. I've as far as I understand, I've kind of earned the nickname that I've been given. I've been able to vary my rage pretty solidly. So,
Children of Gaia are really good at handling our rage. She nods. So, but I am here for you as someone to talk to, as a tribe mate. Don't just because I am a lot higher ranked, please don't feel like you can't talk to me. I'm here for anybody, but especially for Cubs and Cleoth who still need extra help navigating themselves in this crazy world we're in.
I didn't immediately come here today because I figured I dropped off a couple of bundles of busyness to you in the last few days, so I figured you might be a little busy.
Well, it seems one of them probably has the same issue as you, and since his first change, he doesn't remember anything. So maybe the two of you can. I don't know how you feel about metas personally, but
I have no issue with them. They haven't done anything.
Right.
At least I don't think they've done anything to me to make me.
Well, maybe that's something the two of you could become friends over. Sometimes when you feel alone and someone knows what you're going through, it can really help. So
How's the other two? The lupus. I think they probably were lupus.
she seems to be adjusting okay. She is a lupus and very much still adjusting to being in a Hamid world, and she's been through a lot. So I think it'll take her a little bit to adjust and come around, but I'm very hopeful.
So referring to the two NPC wolves we rescued.
The Wolfkin. They have been transferred to a like a wildlife a Garu run little wildlife preserve that is off the radar of the humans, because Ireland's not supposed to have wolves. So
I wouldn't mind visiting with them if you could take me there sometime.
sure, I can definitely do that. It's actually not that far away from here. We'd like to be able to keep an eye on them. So, but there are many places to hide wolves in these mountains. So we have a little patch of land um, that they are able to run free and recover from their ordeal, because they seem to be very traumatized as well. I used speech to communicate with them, and they were pretty scared, but very grateful that they were rescued, and would definitely appreciate being checked on from time to time by Garu. So,
Well,
so yeah, and she'll just kind of like give a little shrug and smile, like, basically in her world, everything's going as, like it normally does. It's nothing new that she's seen or dealt with. So, but she doesn't seem to be stressed out or bothered by anything. It's just kind of like how things have fallen and how they've progressed. So,
do you know of anything about these bloodbane things that we faced?
well, I have fought them myself. I do know that they are nesting creatures. They never they're never alone. Uh, so basically, if you can find and destroy the nest and the mother, the brood mother Bane, then they won't come back. But if you don't destroy the brood mother, then she will make a new nest somewhere else.
Has anybody gone out looking for the nest to the one that we killed?
Not that I'm aware of yet. I think there have been some mentions, but nothing that I'm aware of yet. I don't think that they pose too large of a threat just yet, which is why it's not terribly high on the priority list. I think Lorcan is more concerned with these people that have kidnapped kinfolk and stuff right now. But the Banes definitely need to be addressed too. So maybe you could try your hand at heading up a search and destroy party on the Banes.
I will definitely give it a try.
All right, because any Garu can lead. It's not just Aruns or Galliards or even Ragabashes. They just have to be leaders too.
Yep.
She nods. So it's not a bad idea to show a little bit of initiative on that front.
Well, so at least somebody of higher rank realizes that I'm doing so. I'll let you know now that I'm going to try to do so, just in case something
I'll
goes
pass the message
horribly
on.
wrong.
I will pass the message on to Lorcan. He's the warder and my packmate. So my other packmate. So she nods. So yeah, and she zones out for just a second as if she's she looks like that she's deep in thought. He doesn't know about Packlink or anything yet, so he wouldn't know that's what she's communicating with him that way. But yeah, she passes the message along. Like she's done that a couple of times. She did that once, when she was communicating with Writes the Rules about the one thing, and then that kind of stuff. So and then she kind of like her eyes go a little wide and she goes, oh, so Writes the Rules says that you can meet with him on early next week, if that works for you.
It does.
Okay. Do you have a phone number or anything?
Well, I have this burner, so here's the number to the burner. At least that's what
That works.
it's called.
So she'll pass that number along, and a little bit later, like not even a minute later, his phone buzzes with a text message saying, "This is Darren," which Dazzles will confirm that that's who that is.
He'll respond with a confirmation of this is Connor.
All right. So, and then she kind of like she does like this little wiggle, like, "Yeah, you're connected. I don't have to pass telepathic messages anymore."
He actually sends it like twice because the first time is just horrible with spelling errors.
Okay, that's
he does have a lot of technology, but his memory still scrambles.
Well, cell phones are actually computer, but whatever.
Do I have computers? I think I do have a lot of computers. I do.
Yeah. Technology would be to like fix a cell phone. To use one is computers. But like honestly, like cell phones are so common that I don't even require people to have a dot of computer to know how to basically operate them.
I'm just playing up the scattered brain bit.
No, that's completely and totally fine. Absolutely. No, because it works with his flaw and everything. So that's completely fine. So yeah.
That's all I needed. Did you need anything?
She thinks for a moment and shakes her head. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, no.
Well, you also have my phone number now too, so.
I do. And she will actually pull her phone out and send him a message. And this is Alyssa.
She'll get the same response with about half as many spelling errors this time. But only one, because he's kind of realizing, yeah, I'm sure they get the gist. Yeah. And he'll slowly stand up.
All right. So I think with that, we could probably end our scene, yeah?
Sounds good.
All right. So thank you, player, for playing. And thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.